Anti-Defamation League saying more than 100 U.S. And global companies have now signed on to its workplace pledge to fight anti-Semitism. These include companies like Google, S&P Global, UPS, and the NBA. At the same time, Hamas terrorists attacked Israel on October 7th. Preliminary data from the ADL's Center on Extremism indicates nearly 400% spike in reported anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. versus the same period last year. It's also important to note that the FBI says it has seen increased reports of threats against Muslim and Arab communities. Joining us right now is Anti-Defamation League CEO and National Director Jonathan Greenblatt. We had you on the program when you announced your plans to put this list together.
Yeah.
I know Jeff Sonnenfeld at Yale is putting a list together. I think he has even more names on it. Not necessarily your pledge, but just statements and things that companies have made. What's that process been like? What's the feedback and even potential backlash been like?
Yeah, well, look, first of all, Jeff's a friend, and I think he does great work. And I think he's noted how people like Albert Bourla and the CEOs, who's a remarkable person, CEOs of a lot of companies, NVIDIA, right, IBM, they've spoken out. What we're doing is when companies say, well, what can I do? More than just issuing a tweet, if you will. We're giving them a way to do that, right? By signing on to the workplace pledge, like Google, like Omnicom, like UPS, like Kava and J.Crew, so many companies, businesses can show how they're standing with their Jewish employees, because that's what this is about. Anti-Semitism is spiking around the world. The Jewish state is facing a genocidal threat. CEOs are saying reasonably, I have Jewish employees, I have Jewish customers, I have Jewish shareholders. What can I do? The ADL Workplace Pledge is an easy way they can stand with their Jewish community.
So at the same time, though, you now have this conflation oftentimes, and I want to read you. Bill Ackman, this is on Twitter or X last night, says anti-Israel has become anti-Semitism. And he says, just ask the students. But it is an issue that's not just about the students. It's an issue that has been raised in workplaces across the country and around the world. And how you think about that conflation, and also how you think about CEOs and managers trying to resolve that conflation.
Look, Bill Ackman is right that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, period. I don't think that's much of a debate anymore. And we know this because we hear what these kids on these campuses or these activists are saying. They're not saying two-state solution. They're saying final solution. Like, that should have no place anywhere. I just don't. I think it's wrong.
Jonathan,
go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say that I see it coming, and the invasion of Gaza has been put off as we...
Right.
Okay. If it does come, and it's likely to, it's going to be very bloody.
It's going to be.
How does Israel, and how do you help Israel win the PR battle? Because you can see you can see right now, it's going to be Palestinian genocide. It's going to be Israeli terrorists. Even though Israel has a right to defend itself, and the only way to defend itself is to try to do to Hamas what the West did, or whoever you want to give credit for, did to ISIS. That's
no, look, like Governor Haley.
You got to go in. There's going to be civilian casualties.
Hamas is a hate group. Hamas is a terror organization. It's a criminal outfit. It's also the government of Gaza. Israel needs to respond to the attack, the slaughter of 1,400 people.
Make it so that the impression that Israel is...
Well, look, I'm not Israel's public relations agency, but my job is to keep Jewish people safe. And, you know, I don't know if you saw what happened at the Cooper Union here last night, where Jewish students were barricaded in the library because of a mob outside that banged on the doors and yelled, "Globalize the Intifada." It's crazy what's happening on these campuses. You basically have Hamas supporters on these campuses. And I got to tell you something. Again, Governor Haley talked about ISIS. We have laws in place to prevent Americans or others from providing material support to foreign terror organizations. So last night, the ADL sent letters to 175 university presidents telling them that groups like Students for Justice in Palestine, facilitating, enabling, providing material support for terrorists, they should be investigated and thrown off those campuses.
Jonathan, I didn't know that. I don't think I was that aware. I wouldn't have been in a position to have such a strong viewpoint. Where is it coming from? The professors,
whether it's
the presidents?
Yeah, I mean, look, whether
social
it's
media.
Right-wing extremists and white supremacists or left-wing radicals and hardened anti-Zionists, these people are the fringe. We need to put them back on the fringe.
But the ADL used to fight to allow Nazis to march. Would you do that today?
I wouldn't say we would fight to allow Nazis to march.
But give them the freedom of speech.
So I certainly believe ferociously in the First Amendment. But, freedom of speech is not the freedom to, slaughter people. And freedom of expression isn't freedom to incite violence. So I'm okay with you marching, but not when it involves imperiling, endangering other people because of how they pray.
Can you march for then say that the Palestine is being occupied? Are you allowed to do that?
You can certainly, you were asking this. Yeah. There is nothing wrong with criticizing Israel. By the way, nothing wrong with criticizing George Soros. It's when you demonize, it's when you dehumanize, and you put people at risk. Look, we have all over the country these crazy rallies taking place that literally call to wipe Jews off the map, call to globalize the Intifada. The Intifada was a violent military action that involved murdering thousands of civilians. Who thinks this is normal? We wouldn't tolerate...
Nazis, too. I would say the same thing about Nazis.
Yeah, look, I will tell you something. 1939, right down the street at Madison Square Garden, 1939, there was a rally on behalf of the Third Reich here in New York. 20,000 people showed up at MSG. I got to tell you something. I think we will look back on these people, these kids, these individuals supporting Hamas today, look at them at the same way those people supported the Nazis in the 1930s. Morally reprehensible. And whether it's a university president or a community leader who dithers and equivocates, history will not judge them well.